Hello everyone, my name is Bruce and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be restoring this 1986 Ferrari Testarossa from Matchbox. Now honestly, this car has needed restoring for a while, so I thought with the help of your criticism from the last restoration video, I would put my new skills to the test. Now don't worry, I've listened to a lot of your feedback if you have watched the previous restoration video where I restored an old Rolls-Royce Matchbox, so I'm going to be putting those to use today. So hopefully we can turn this Ferrari into a really just not pleasant to look at, beaten up old Matchbox car into something different. Now honestly, I'm not really liking the color, so I'm going to be changing the color of this one, but hopefully we can get an even better result than what we started out with. So let's get this started. Firstly, to start off, we're going to be drilling this car apart. Now when you're drilling out the rivets of a car, there are normally two drill bits you want to use, a smaller one and a larger one. The large one should be just the size of the rivet and the smaller one should be just small enough to fit inside to drill the metal out. I don't use a certain size of drill, but I just use whatever suits the car, because a lot of different brands have a lot of different rivet sizes, so it can really depend what you're working on. Alright, now that we have the rivets drilled out, we can take this car apart and have a look at the inside pieces. So here we have the interior, the base, the window, and we have the body in here. Now luckily I was about to paint strip. I was going to skip this step, but luckily I noticed that there is a bit of black plastic in there. Now if I put that in with the paint stripper, that would have just dissolved right away. I learned that the hard way. If you've seen one of my restoration videos, when you've seen that, it's not a great idea. Now these are held in by these weird plastic looking, I don't know what to call them, like sort of plastic rivets, so the only way we're going to be able to deal with them is by snipping them off. Hopefully this shouldn't end up going in my eye. Okay, no, that didn't go anywhere at all, but just snipping these off should end up, hopefully we'll be able to push it out. I might need a bit of assistance trying to get this out. With the help of a mini screwdriver, I got the black plastic piece off, so now we can start getting the paint off, and hopefully we'll be able to paint it without any issues, so let's get right onto that. Now to get the paint off, I use this Septone automotive paint stripper that I got from Super Cheap Auto. Now this isn't your typical paint stripper that you would normally see other people use. This is one that you have to brush on. So you'll be able to see me here dipping in the brush and putting it all over the car. Depending on how old the car is, this may take 5 to 10 minutes, or even if it's a new car, it may take only 2 minutes. But you can see on my left hand I'm wearing a yellow glove. That's just in case any of the paint stripper goes anywhere on my hands. It won't damage me too much because this stuff dissolves through gloves and it is very painful. Well, not very painful, it's like a slight burn. I've had it before, but it feels very strange. It's like a burning sensation, but it's very bad if you get it on your hand, so you can see I'm being very careful here. And I've also got the screwdriver there just to flip the car around so I don't have to use my hands or anything like that. Alright, now that we have the paint off the car, we can see how the car looks underneath that paint. We can see it's not too bad shape, but of course, as I always like to do, I'm going to be sanding down this car, so let's get right onto that. I'd also like to point out that I did also strip the paint off the base because this is a metal body, metal based vehicle. After putting the car in the paint stripper and after leaving it out, rinsing it off, I did attack the car with some steel wool. That managed to get some little bits of paint off that were still on the car that I couldn't get off otherwise. So we can see there are still some bits of paint here and there, but they should come off with sanding, and if they don't, I'm going to have to do something about that later on. For when I sand my cars, I always do wet sanding. It always comes out a lot better than if I were to do regular. Now I use 5 different grits of sandpaper. I use 180, 240, 400, 800, and then 1200. I really wish I could go to the store right now and pick up some 1500, but I haven't been able to go out shopping for a while, but hopefully in the next restoration I'll have some ready to use. Alright, now that the car's sanded, we can see the finish is looking quite a bit better. The metal isn't as shiny as I would like it to be right now, so I think the next step we're going to be doing is polishing. I'm only going to be polishing the body. The base, however, we're going to be keeping like this semi-gloss metal. It's not really glossy at all, but you can see it's been sanded. I'm going to be painting this part black here, and I'm going to be leaving this part masked off, but we'll get to that when we are there. So the polishing should give this metal a bit more shine. Hopefully we'll be able to polish it so we can get a mirror finish, but we'll see how that all goes. Now when I'm using the polishing wheel, I always use this green polish. It's the one that I always use to get a mirror finish, and it works perfect each time. Now when I am polishing, I always go over each part of the car twice or even 3 times, just if I want to be very sure that I get that mirror shine. When I'm polishing, I always wear safety glasses just in case anything were to fling up and hit my eyes. After polishing, there's always a black residue left behind, so I put the car in the sink and I try and rub it off with a cloth. It doesn't take too long, but sometimes I have to be a bit rough with it, but eventually it all comes off. Okay, now that we have the car polished, we can have a look and see that is a nice mirror shine there. That is pretty much exactly what I wanted. Some spots on the roof, like the bottom right corner, don't have the perfect, like, reflective shine, but it's still very good. It's going to be a very nice car to paint over, so talking about paint, let's get right on to painting this body. Now, the original color I had in mind for this car was to paint it red, but then I realized last second that I had no red paint left, so I did the second best thing and painted it yellow. But as you'll see in a few seconds, this yellow turns out to be not the most attractive looking color, especially on a polished body. So I decided to do the third best thing, and I decided to paint this color purple. This is my favorite color, so of course I'm going to chuck it on a car that I have no colors for. The purple ends up going on way better, and it looks really nice. The purple is a mix of just a purple base color and this metallic spray paint that I use. I mix it all together and it gives a great purple metallic shine. Also guys, don't mind the messy shed, I should be cleaning up soon. This is the only place where I spray paint on airbrush because, well, it has an open door so all the paint fumes will get out pretty easily. Here we have the car, and after leaving it to dry for 24 hours we can have a look at this. I didn't get to record it, but you can see I did paint the base. It did come out okay. Now the reason I only painted half the base is because I'm going to mask it off, as I said earlier. Going to paint the base black because honestly I really love cars that have black bases. I don't know, it's like an OCD thing, but we'll see on later on how this turns out. Now we're just quickly going to spray paint this base. You can see the masking tape is on the end there, so no paint will get on where I want it to go. This is just a regular black primer that's supposed to be used for automotive cars, but I suppose it's sort of the same thing. It's a base of a Hot Wheels, or not Hot Wheels, but Matchbox, so we can still use it. Now to make this more of a custom restoration, we're going to be using this silver Sharpie that we can see in here. Going to paint in some custom headlights, so that will make it a Ferrari Testarossa 512M. It will look very nice, and it's more of a custom thing, I know, but still it's something I've wanted to do and try out for a while. With all of those steps done now, it's finally time to put the car back together. Now I didn't record it, but I did end up polishing the window off camera. I wasn't sure if it would work polishing using my big polishing wheel, but it turns out it worked really well. I got a great result and it looks better than it ever did before. Now for this car, the wheels just clip in, but it does take a bit of effort trying to lift up the metal cover for it, so it does take a bit. I'm going to be using the original wheels that it came with, because they're not in too bad condition. And although you can't see it here, after I recorded this video I did hot glue it together so it looks all nice, and it should stay together for as long as it can. I also left the interior pieces in some soapy water for 24 hours and it looks pretty much very clean. Not too much to do to it, it just had a bit of dust and dirt in it, so that was easy to get rid of. Alright, anyway guys, if you did enjoy today's restoration video, be sure to give it a like, comment your opinion on this car, and of course, as always, comment some criticisms and things that I can improve on, because I need a lot of help with trying to improve my cars. I know I'm almost getting to a point where I'm really happy with them, but there's always some things that I think I can improve on, so if you know any, please leave them below. But anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.